Good morning and welcome back to Never Too Old Gaming Channel. Today I thought I would share with you my top ways of earning money on Farming Simulator 25 as part of my Help I Bought a Farm series. So let's just dive straight in, shall we? These are not in any particular order. I'll just go through them as they come to mind. The first thing would be to take out a bank loan. So you click on this little graph here over to finances and you can borrow some cash by pressing the space bar in sums of $5,000. Now the amount of money you can borrow depends on your overall worth or the overall value of your property. So how many fields you have, the size of your property, how much equipment you have will all depend on how much money you can borrow from the bank. Now regardless of how much money you borrow from the bank, it's always a good idea to pay as much of the money back as you can before you go to bed each night, because you do get charged interest on your bank loans. But at least if you take out a bank loan, it might help you buy some more fields, which in turn can help you start earning some more cash. Number 2, contracts. Now contracts are a thing that I don't do very much because I can make enough money on the farm with some other methods that I'll share with you today. However, if you're interested in doing contracts, you can see here there is various things we can do. There's bale wrapping, baling, clearing away some dead wood, harvesting, mowing, spraying, rock removal, and they all have different values. You can see here if we look at this, the harvesting one, so he wants us to harvest some oats. And if we don't have any of this is the equipment required. If we don't have any of this equipment, we can lease the equipment needed for $1,000, and that'll knock $1,000 off your contract reward. If you've got your own equipment, you still need to take into consideration your fuel expenses and the wear and tear on your equipment, so it might be better just to lease the equipment. The third method is kind of an obvious one. You can see here I'm about to harvest these fields. You're going to harvest fields and you're going to sell the crops that you get. Now I've got some crops of barley. And if we look in the graph here at the prices, and we can see we're in July right now, but barley is more expensive or worth more in December, so I'm going to hang on to the barley until December before I sell it. And to do that, I can store that in my silo. You can see just in the background there behind the tractor. So always just make sure you're selling your crops at the right time of year to maximise your profits. Fourth on the list will be to sell what you don't need. Now, assuming you've started the game as a new farmer, we have got a few extra buildings and equipment on the farm that we don't really need. Hit escape. We're going to this graph here, go to vehicles. Now, this tractor isn't very good. It's only got 160 horsepower, but I'm going to need a tractor, so I'll hang on to it for the time being. This trailer is quite small for what I need, so right now I'm going to get rid of it. If you look over at our fields over here, it looks like at least one of them, yep, 2 of them are ready to harvest. So we need the harvester. But I don't really need the trailer. I'm going to transport the crops over to this silo, but I don't need the trailer to do that. I can use the harvester to do that. So I'm going to sell the trailer. The seeder. Okay, I'll probably need the seeder to plant new crops for the next harvest. The John Deere tractor, only 116 horsepower, and I've got a better tractor, so I just get rid of this extra one here. It's $18,000. This here's the cultivator, which I will need to allow me to plant crops for the next harvest. the harvester I need, the header I need, and I don't really need the trailer because this harvester and header are quite small, so I can sell the trailer. If we look into the construction menu, we can see we've got a few extra buildings here. And I'm going to keep the cows for now. I can sell the cows to make money, but I don't really need this barn in the centre here. This is purely cosmetic. I don't need to store equipment inside the barn. It's not, being outside's not, they're not going to get affected by the weather, so I just sell that. $47,000. Again, there's another barn here. Again, purely cosmetic. Get rid of that, $14,000. This little shed here, same, $5,000. I can't sell any of these. I like to keep my house. It's good to have the house there so we can go to sleep and basically fast forward time. Got a little shed here, a little grain barn, $350. I'll sell that. I'll hang on to the bees because bees can make us some honey, and they also increase the yield of our crops. There's a little shed here that I don't need. And this solar panel, we'll keep that solar panel because the solar panels is going to make us money. I'll cover those in a minute. That's a nice passive income. We even have a shed over here that is absolutely useless. I'll sell that for another $300. And that'll do for now. So we've got a nice tidy sum of money there now. We can buy or lease some better equipment. Over in the corner here we can see we've got this little black and yellow taped area. This is, we're about to build another shed here. And to build the shed we would drop in the components needed. Wood beams, planks and long planks. However, I don't really need another cosmetic shed. So I'll choose to get rid of that and I'll make back $1,000. Now I mentioned bees. Bees are an underestimated method of earning money. So the bees will fly out into the fields, they'll pollinate, which will help increase your crop yield, and they'll also make honey, and the honey spawns in the pallets, the black and yellow section here, which we can then sell for a tidy little profit without much effort and without much upfront cost. I've got a video on bees if you'd like to check that out. Number 6, as I mentioned, would be these solar panels for a nice passive income. In your construction menu, if we go to factories and in generators, you can see here for $7,800 we can build a small solar panel. We have a wind generator, large solar panel, and then we have larger wind generators. And if we just look at for example, the small solar panel, that will make us $648 every single month. For the wind power, $984 every month, and well, you get the idea. The bigger it goes, the more it generates and the more money we can generate. Number 7, lease your equipment, don't buy it. Let's say we need one harvesters already. Let's look at harvesters. So let's say I've got a few large fields that I need to harvest. I need to harvest them quicker. So obviously the larger harvester you have, the larger the header you can have, which means you'll harvest the field quicker. So this would be the one that you start the game with, and I want to use a larger one. Rather than buying a piece of equipment for $405,000, I can lease it for $20,000. Just make sure when you lease equipment that you're going to harvest enough to cover your costs and make a profit. You don't want to harvest a really expensive piece of equipment if you're just going to harvest that one field. You might not make enough money from that crop to cover your expenses. Number 8, silage. Now, I've got a video if you need to know how to create silage, but silage is probably the most cost-effective crop you can have, because once you plant your grass at one time, You don't need to plant it again. Every 4 months you can mow your grass, harvest it and sell it. Or store it, make it into silage, and silage will make more money than actually selling the grass. Number 9. Cut down trees. Trees, if you're clearing some space on your farm, trees are a great way to make some cash. You can turn them into wood chips, where you can sell the wood itself. Now you can see here, over here, I've got a little miniature sawmill. And if we look in the production chains, we'll look at my sawmill. I'm actually running out of wood, so I need to get some more wood in there. But 41 wood will make me 27 planks, or 41 of these planks, or 18 wood beams. And that cycle happens 24 times every month. And I've got them set to selling automatically. Additionally, we can buy or lease the wood chipper, and we can turn our trees into wood chips. If we look at the graph here for prices for wood chips down the bottom, and wood chips will sell in January for $1,638 per 1,000 litres. So if you manage to fill a large trailer, you can make quite a bit of cash. Just make sure and you hang on to those until January. Number 10, field flipping. Now, field flipping feels a bit kind of cheaty. We can buy a field, for example. What we do is we look for a field that is ready to harvest. There we are, ready to harvest. Okay, number 6 is ready to harvest, and I can buy that field for $225,000. Buy the field, harvest the crop, and then you can sell the field back for exactly the same price that you bought for it, because the value is in the land, not the crop. So you keep the crop for yourself and sell it at the opportune moment. And that brings us to my favourite, number 11, greenhouses. Again, I've got another video on greenhouses you can check out if you're interested, but greenhouses are such an easy way to make money. Plop the greenhouse, tell it what crops to make, and then put water in it and let it go. You can choose to sell the crops manually, where you pick them up with a forklift and take them to the place you want to sell them, or you can set them to sell automatically. They're a great way of making cash. Well, that'll do for today, folks. There are a few ways to help you earn cash or save cash on your farm. Thanks for watching. Thanks for staying this long. If you're still here, please remember to like and subscribe. And until next time, goodbye for now.